Good morning, multipliers, and welcome to another video. Today we're talking about how Josh Whedon has united the Avengers to take on Donald Trump. That's right, Donald Trump is now facing the heat of the Avengers. Josh Whedon has put together his PSA to go out and to directly, literally, I watched the video, I'll link it down below. It's 100% to go after Donald Trump going for the election. Literally talks about how we're going to give our nuclear missiles to a guy who says, you're fired, and all this stuff. It's absolutely bonkers to me. Here's the thing, guys. This is the most election I've ever seen. Now, granted, I am not a huge Donald Trump fan by any means. I did not think he'd make it this far. I did not want him to make it this far, but it is crazy amount of force that people are going against him now. Literally, the guy is not my pick for president of the United States by any means, but he's who I'm more than likely going to vote for. The reason, actually, he is who I'm going to vote for. The reason being is because this election is so pivotal, and that's exactly what they were saying. But you see, they were talking about a future for the children that continues to push on this liberal agenda, this lack of this political correctness, all these things that is not where we need to go. It's where we're going, and that's why we're getting worse and worse and worse. And so it's so crazy to see the amount of pressure coming from political spheres, from social spheres, from popular people like this. But we really need to look at this and say, go to the source and realize who's going against this, what they stand for, and what we should stand for, and say, you know what, I don't know if I want to be like that. I don't know if I want to be like the people who, get divorced every couple of years and live in this lifestyle, end up in rehab more often than not, and all these things, because that's what they're doing. And so do I want to be there, or do I want to go where God tells me to go? And so they're an interesting nugget. I don't know, whatever. I'm just like done with it. But then this one here is just so sad. Now, this one I saw on Fox News. This one was that North Korea only has 28 websites. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I find myself surfing through the web and I get so bored. I find myself flipping through Facebook again and again, or Twitter and everything else. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? I can never find something to do. Now, imagine if you took all that away and you had 28 websites, because that is exactly what South Korea has. That's depressing. And I bet they're like Encyclopedia North Korea, where we talk about history the way it was. And I don't even know where to even start with that. So everyone feel blessed that we have like 250,000 apps on iPad and like 500,000 or something like that on iPhone, and I don't even know how many on Android, and websites galore. So life is good. God has blessed us. So our next little nugget is our tech bit of the day. Now, Samsung and LG and all these tech companies have been trying to make the perfect automated fridge that gives you everything you need. They'll order your groceries for you, everything you want. They believe they've hit it with Samsung anyways. They have made a partnership in Australia with the chain Woolworths. Now, this is a local grocery chain there. Basically, what it'll do, it'll order your food. It will reorder your groceries for you. Now, this is the precedent. This is what they want. They will go through, it'll do it. Whatever you take out, it'll order for you again. So that cheesecake you keep eating will just continue to show back up in your fridge time and time again with no self-control even needed at all. It's not your excuse. If you don't, it's gonna go bad. No, it's silly, but it's the future where it's going, and this thing is gonna set you back $7,499. So basically $7,800 Australian dollars. Now in the US, that's about $5,500 there. So a heck of a lot of money, but definitely an interesting thought. We'll see where it goes. It's only there right now. That's the only chain I know that's been announced here in the CNET article, but should be interesting to see what happens as this progresses. Is this the future? Are we gonna be ordering from our fridge and not even have to worry about our groceries anymore? I want to see. All right, and our final story of the day is Uber. Now, Uber is the transportation system that's taken over the world. It's going everywhere. And in China right now, there's kind of a funny thing with it, that that Uber customers are being scared, and they're placing a ride. They see their picture of their driver. They look down, and it's this guy or people who put like zombie and ghost face, and they get freaked out, and they don't want to do the ride, and then they pay a cancellation fee. It's like, apparently, it's been published in several publications. It's not a small issue. Basically, why this is a big deal is because the Uber guys get paid for it anyway, so you just put a weird face on, say you'll pick up rides, and then you don't actually have to do it because they cancel, and so they make extra money all the way through. So it's kind of an interesting thing going on where Chinese people are terrified of zombies, apparently. So interesting last little laugh of the day there. I thought that was kind of comical. Our little nugget of the day is college humor conspiracy see behind your glasses. As a glasses wearer, I'm not wearing them now because they get to glare on this, and that's why I don't wear them on this part. But they did a whole thing about how one company owns like 90% of the glasses market. It's really interesting. Put it down below. It's funny, but it's also kind of it's just like there's a lot of information there. So something cool to check out today for our video of the day. And then moving on to our focus, I've been reading through once again through 2nd Chronicles, and I came past yesterday we talked about Ahaz's adultery and all that stuff, and when he was going against God, and we get to Hezekiah. Now Hezekiah I've talked about before. He's kind of a hero of mine because God has really taught me a lot through Hezekiah's story. We see Hezekiah here, and we see as he begins to reign after the death of his father, and he basically puts things right. I mean, almost immediately begins to put things right. Restores the temple, opens the doors, and I mean, puts a lot of labor, brings all these people back. And I find it interesting too, as they begin to this, it talks about they spent a lot of time preparing this, a couple weeks preparing and just cleansing the temple, going through. And then he says as they made initial offerings to begin to cleanse and to restore the men of God, the Levites, and everybody back to where they need to be. And it's interesting to see, I think in the first offering you see, they bring just a very small offering to God. Very small compared to the tens of thousands of sacrifices that David would make and everything, and Solomon. And so you come here and it's a very small, and it's just it grows. And then you see as they begin to have these festivals and they begin to celebrate Passover, invite people to come, and they have this mighty celebration which some people didn't even want to take part in because they didn't believe in it anymore. And yet here these people come, we see as from that the amount of blessings grow and grow and grow until it becomes back to the point close to where Solomon was as far as a sacrifice made to God. The reason I say this, guys, is because in life, sometimes we start off going back to God and we say, you know what, I want to make my life right with God. It doesn't always start off big. It doesn't. Sometimes it starts off really small. Sometimes it starts off where, we don't know what we're doing and we're having struggle and we're having pain and all these things. And then we get the chance and the opportunity to follow God and we see the blessings come, and that's the more we can bless God. And we see this from Hezekiah. It says his stores were full, that he began to do it. He began to incur wealth and stuff, and basically everything came back to Israel. And the reason I say this, guys, is because it's so important that we realize that God is in control, and sometimes in moments it doesn't make sense. Sometimes in moments it's hard. Today I worked out and it was hard. I was struggling through the whole thing, but I kept going because I know that one day it'll get easier. And that if I force myself to do it now, when it's not fun, when I don't want to do it, that someday it's going to become something more. I'm going to be healthier and better off for it. And that's really the mentality and the heart we have to take with this, guys, is that God is in control and God is going to do something great in your life. And the reality is it's going to start off hard, but it's going to get easier because you're going to build this relationship, this stamina with God. The workouts are always supposed to challenge, but it's the fact that as I work out that I can do more and more, and I have more strength to do those things. Right now, I don't have that. And so with God, I start off weak, and so it's hard to follow God because I don't hear his voice as loud. I don't know what I'm doing as much. I don't have that comfort as much. But as I push on and I press forward and forward and forward, I build that relationship. I build that stamina. That's where I leave you today, guys. God bless. I hope you like it. Make sure you check out those links down below right here. For Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff, Snapchat on the way. But make sure you follow us all there. Check out our Patreon page if you want to support us to see so God can do more and more here. God bless. We'll see you next time. Have a good weekend. Oh, and last thing, sorry. Make sure you check out, we posted our video review for a movie this week to today. It should be out already, so make sure you go check out that review and enjoy it. God bless. See you next time. Bye-bye.